I'm a 24-year-old male, and my story starts like most shared apartment tales, mundane until it isn't. Our apartment was a modest two-bedroom place, the kind where you hear everything through the thin walls. My roommate, a 25-year-old female, and I had a routine that kept us from stepping on each other's toes. We were more acquaintances than friends, and that suited us just fine. The layout was simple. A shared living space leading to two separate bedrooms. Her room was always locked, which I found odd, but didn't question. Our schedules rarely overlapped, but that day, something felt off. I came home early from work, a perk of a canceled meeting, and noticed her bedroom door slightly ajar. She was supposed to be at her yoga class, and curiosity got the better of me. As I approached her room, a faint, metallic smell wafted into the hallway. My heart pounded with an unsettling mix of fear and intrigue. I pushed the door open, and my world tilted. Her room was a chaotic swirl of colors and objects that shouldn't be there. The walls were plastered with pictures of me, candid shots that I never knew were taken. In the center stood a mannequin dressed in my clothes, posed like a twisted shrine. The surreal sight was compounded by a low hum emanating from a tape recorder playing a loop of my voice. I stumbled back, knocking over a stack of notebooks filled with scribbled notes about my daily habits. The shock rooted me to the spot, my mind racing to make sense of the madness. I was still reeling when she walked in, yoga mat slung over her shoulder, a casual smile on her face that quickly vanished. Her eyes darted between me and the incriminating evidence strewn around. My body moved before my mind could catch up. I slammed the door shut, trapping us both in the room. "What the hell is this?" I demanded, my voice a shaky growl. She looked at me with a strange calmness, her hands raised as if in surrender. "It's not what it looks like," she said, her voice eerily composed. But the room spoke volumes. She moved closer, and I backed up, my hand brushing against the mannequin. The coldness of its plastic skin sent a shiver down my spine. In a sudden, unexpected twist, she lunged for the tape recorder, her fingers scrambling to turn it off. I grabbed her wrist, stopping her mid-action, and she let out a small, frustrated cry. The tape continued its eerie loop, filling the silence between us with my own voice. The standoff was brief but felt like an eternity. Eventually, she slumped against the wall, defeated, and began to speak in broken, hurried sentences. She confessed to a fascination with observing people's lives, a hobby turned obsession when I moved in. The pictures, the notes, the clothes, it was all part of some twisted admiration. I stepped back, needing distance from her and the madness that filled the room. I turned and walked out, leaving her to her confessions, not trusting myself to stay calm if I stayed. In the days that followed, I moved out, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Even now, I find myself glancing over my shoulder, a habit born of paranoia and betrayal. Has anyone else ever experienced something so bizarre? I often wonder what drives someone to cross such boundaries, and if there were signs I missed. I'd love to hear your thoughts or similar experiences. Reddit